I remember the first day I went out on the field and somebody hollered for a football and I threw it and I hit Coach Edwards in the back of the head. And Floyd was just dying. He goes, you know, you're going to get fired before we ever get you hired.
I first interacted with Chad Bunn on a phone call. I was just starting my first book, and I was surprised when he got emotional. He literally told me that outside of his father, that Floyd Johnson was the most influential man of his life. So it really made me stop and pause, and I decided if I was going to do these stories about men such as Floyd and LaVell, I needed to do him justice and really take it seriously. I then later met Chad face-to-face in 2010 on the sideline of the UNLV football game. Him and Ralph Zobel, that whole morning, kept feeding me stories and pointing out players and coaches and helping me with contacts.
I came down as a student manager.
Student manager, that's right.
Yep.
Remember you telling me that.
Doug Adams, who played for him, brought me down and introduced me to him. Mel Olson and I was talking today about the influence that we can have here on student athletes in the positions we're in. And we think of how excited Floyd was when Coach Edwards got hired as a coach. Because Edwards understood the importance of guys serving missions and what an influence it would have on people. And it was just an amazing thing. One of the best was we forgot to order an equipment truck when we went to Wyoming. We forgot to get an equipment truck out of Motor Pool. So Floyd goes down to U-Haul and we get this truck and it's got a governor on it. And so it won't go more than 55 miles an hour and we got to go to Laramie in this thing. It had no radio. So all the way to Wyoming and all the way back, we sing hymns. And the dude knew every hymn in the hymn book. I mean, he had every hymn just down. This is our men's team locker room. Players get dressed here before, after games, before, after practices. This is fairly new. We changed this room 3 years ago. It used to have old metal lockers in it. We tore them out and put these nice wood lockers. And it was awesome when he was Lorienized bishop.
Oh, really? I'd forgotten that.
He'd sit up on the stands, and there was, it's a married student ward, and you'd see Floyd do this. He'd just take his finger and he'd turn down his hearing aid so he couldn't hear the babies cry. He'd just sit up and smile. Remember that? I don't know where to start. Huh? I can't remember. What's that one?
Did you go on to the southeast?
Oh, that's true. He predicted where I'd go on my mission. He told me I would go states to the south, and I'd go to the southeast. Well, I'd go to Miami. How farther south and east could that be than?
Tell me about your dad and Chad's dad.
Anyway, we deer hunt every year. We get on the horses, two in the saddle, one holding onto the tail up the hill, go up into Nebo Basin, and then they'd sit and do Dinty Moore stew and a can of chili over the fire while we hunted deer and listened to BYU football on the radio.
On a little radio up
We
in the
could hear
mountains.
them on a transistor radio. They took every year.
What year would this have been?
Oh, it was probably mid-70s, 72 to
Fantastic.
76.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Any
great.
games stand out to you from that era?
We were hunting. They were listening to the ball game.
You were hunting mule deer, whitetail, or
Mule deer.
Mule deer.
Up
This
above
is
Richmond, right up above Bunn's place.
okay.
So, yeah, it's good times.
Chad Bunn was highly respected in his industry of videography in the late 80s and 90s. I would often stop by his office in the Marriott Center when I would come down over the last decade and say hello. His monitors and hard drives and video equipment would have aluminum wrapped around the antennas, and I always thought that was awesome. It felt like something out of a sci-fi movie.
But you know, Floyd gave me so many opportunities. I mean, he really did. And I mean, I can't remember the conversations we had, but you talk about everything. And if you ever needed anything, you just went to Floyd. And he was just such an influence. I don't know. I can't recall specific things, but he just did so much for so many people that people don't even remember.
Chad was responsible for the Shoe of a Champion video that Floyd gave so many times. He told me he could tell he was just fading, he was getting older, he was in his mid to late 70s, and so he set up a camera and recorded it. And I'm so glad that I was able to hear this, because I'd never heard it as a student or as the husband of one of the athletes. He was kind of on the back end of his career, but thousands of people heard that fireside, and it's still available to hear.
I mean, I remember the year we went to the Citrus Bowl. We played in the Citrus Bowl in 1985. We played Ohio State, and Floyd was my roommate. We roomed together, and I remember I wanted to go. I did. I went home and I asked Lori to marry me. But that night on Christmas Eve, because we spent Christmas there, I'll never forget, here's Floyd and I in this little room, and Floyd pulls out the Bible, because we've got to take our scriptures with us. So he pulls out the Bible and we read, and it was one of the most touching things I ever remember, because it wasn't like Christmas at home with your family or anything. It was just me and Floyd. Before we went to bed that night, we read the Christmas story, and it's just amazing.
LaVell Edwards, soul of a champion.